Yes, Namaskar. Today, just ready for Unit 7 Ecology and Environment of Grade 9 English. Here, from Grade 9 English Unit 7 Ecology and Environment. Getting started, look at the picture and talk about the components of environment. Here, ecosphere, atmosphere, hydrosphere, lithosphere, biosphere, and let me say a little bit about the different component of environment. And the atmosphere means air, related to air, and lithosphere means related to land, no, soil. Similarly, hydrosphere is related to water. Similarly, ecosphere. Now, it is atmosphere from sea level to about 4,000 meters. From where you can or we can respirate without any technology, that we called ecosphere. Similarly, here biosphere related to life, biology, bio. Here, reading first, answer these questions. What preparation do you and your family make as the winter season approaches? Now I have written its answer in detail under writing a skill. Now think about it first. How do animals and birds protect themselves from the cold? These are the pre-questions. Now we should discuss before reading how do animals spend the winter. Now let me describe. The weather gets colder, days get shorter, and leaves turn color and fall off the trees. This is very literary no, line. Here, the weather gets colder, days get shorter, and leaves turn color, change its color, and fall off the trees and fall from the trees. Soon winter is here. This is autumn, Sharad Ritu. Snow covers the ground. People live in warm houses and wear heavy coats outside. Our food comes from the grocery store. Grocery means here kirana, a store. But what about animals? But have you thought about animals storage? From where do they bring their food during winter season? Yes. Now here animals do many different amazing things to get through the winter. Some of them migrate. This means they travel to other places where the weather is warmer or they can find food. Many birds migrate in the fall because the trip can be dangerous. Some travel in large flock. Now here migrate means transfer, no, migration, sarnu, and then trip means yatra, similarly journey, and flock means bathan, group. Now here animals do many different amazing things to get through the winter. Some of them migrate. This means they travel to place where the weather is warmer or they can find food. त्यस्तो ठाउँमा जान्छ जहाँ उसले चाहिँ नि न्यानो मौसम पाउँछ र खाना पनि पाउँछ भोजन. Many birds migrate in the fall because the trip can be dangerous. Some travel in large flock. धेरैजनाले एकदम ठुलो फ्लकमा बथानमा ग्रुपमा उड्छन् किनभने ट्रिप डेन्जरस हुन सक्छ. फर एक्जाम्पल geese fly in noisy V-shaped group. That is the V-shaped group. Other kinds of birds fly alone. How do they know when it is time to leave for the winter? Scientists are still studying this. Many see migrations as part of a yearly cycle of changes a bird goes through. The cycle is controlled by changes in the amount of daylight and the weather. Birds can fly very long distance. For example, the Arctic tern nest close to the North Pole in the summer. Now here, controlled means handle, niyantran. And architern means this is also kind of bird. Architern, if you find in dictionary, you can find that bird. And here you can read about it. एक आर्कटिक समुद्री पंक्षी उत्तर साइडमा उत्तर पोलमा उत्तर साइडको चाहिँ एरियामा बस्ने पंक्षी नेस्ट क्लोज टु द नॉर्थ पोल in the summer, in autumn. It flies south all the way to Antarctica. Each spring, it returns north again. Most migrating birds travel shorter distance. Now, let me describe again about other. But how do they find their way to the same place each year? Birds seem to navigate like sailors. Navigate means drive, चलाउनु जुन चाहिँ सेलरहरूले समुद्रमा अथवा औसिनमा नेभिगेट गर्छ त्यस्तो. And sailors, sailor means here boatmen, नाविकहरू. Once did using the sun, moon and stars for direction. जसरी चाहिँ नि सेलरहरूले मुन र सनलाई चाहिँ नि डिरेक्सनको रूपमा प्रयोग गर्छ त्यसरी नै बर्डहरू पनि नेभिगेट गर्छ है कि कुन दिशा कसरी जाने. They also seem to have a compass in their brain for using the earth's magnetic field. तिनीहरूको ब्रेनमा कम्पास जस्तै म्याग्नेटिक कम्पास जस्तै हुन्छ. Other animals migrate too. There are a few mammals like some bats, caribou and elk and whales that travel in search of food each winter. Now, many fish migrate. They may swim south or move into deeper, warmer water. Some insects also migrate. Certain butterflies and moths fly very long distances. For example, monarch butterflies spend the summer in Canada and the northern US. They migrate as far south as Mexico for the winter. Most migrating insects go much shorter distances. Many like termites. No, termites means wood insect, काठोकिरा जस्तै. And Japanese beetles move downwards into soil. Earthworms also move down, some as far as 6 feet below the surface. No? After that, some animals remain and stay active in the winter. They must adapt to the changing weather. Many make changes in their behavior or bodies. Now, adapt means yes, adjust, अनुकूल बनाउनु. जाडोमा कसरी बस्ने, गर्मीमा कसरी बस्ने, that is the adaptation. Now, to keep warm, animals may grow new, thicker fur in the fall. On whales and snowshoe rabbits, no, here whales, ermine, nebula, एक प्रकारको जनावर. The new fur is white to help them hide in the snow. Food is hard to find in the winter. Some animals like squirrels and mice and beavers gather extra food in the fall and store it to eat later. Some like rabbit and deer spend winter looking for moss, yes, a kind of plant, twigs, bark and leaves to eat. Other animals eat different kinds of food as the season change. The red fox eats fruit and insects in the spring, summer and fall. In the winter, it cannot find these things, so instead it eats small rodents. No, rodents, this kind of animal is called rodents. Now here, canoeing animals, दाँतले कुटु कुटु खानेवाला जनावर जस्तै यो छ नि. Now after that, Animals may find winter shelter in holes like in trees or logs, under rocks or leaves or underground. Some mice even build tunnels through the snow, tunnels hole to try to stay warm. Animals like squirrels and mice may huddle. What is the meaning of tunnel? Surung. And huddle means no live together, टाँसिएर बस्नु, close together. Certain spiders and insects may stay active if they live in frost-free areas and can find food to eat. There are a few insects like the winter stonefly, cranefly, and snow fleas that are normally active in winter. Also, some fish stay active in cold water during the winter. Now, here some animals hibernate for parts or all of the winter. This is a special, very deep sleep. Now, what is the meaning of hibernate? Sleep through the winter. जाडोभरि सुतिराख्नु, लुकिराख्नु. The animal's body temperature drops and its heartbeat and breathing slow down. It uses very little energy. In the fall, these animals get ready for winter by eating extra food and storing it as body fat. बडीमा जुन फ्याट हुन्छ त्यसैबाट उसले बाँचिरहेको हुन्छ विन्टरमा पनि, त्यही खाना हुन्छ उसको. They use this fat for energy while hibernating. Some also store food like nuts or acorns to eat later in the winter. Bears, skunks, chipmunks, and some bats hibernate. Now, cold-blooded animals like fish, frogs, snakes, and turtles have no way to keep warm during the winter. Snakes and many other reptiles find shelter in holes or burrows. As you know, burrow means that is that bit that can no. Similarly, burrows hole हुन्छ बस्ने खरायो बस्ने छैन, and spend the winter inactive or dormant. Dormant rest निष्क्रिय. This is similar to hibernation. Water makes a good shelter for many animals. When the weather gets cold, they move to bottom of lakes and ponds. There frogs, turtles, and many fish hide under rocks, logs, or fallen leaves. They may even bury themselves in the mud. They become dormant. Cold water holds more oxygen than warm water, and the frogs and turtles can breathe by absorbing it through their skin. Now, here, absorbing, sucking, in this way, find the words from the text that have the following meaning. Now, a shop that sells food and other things used in the home, it is called what? Grocery. A shop that sells food or other things used in the home, that is grocery. Now, related to the region around the North Pole, that is the Arctic turn. Now, an underground passage tunnel. To find the right way to deal with a difficult situation, navigate. A person who works on a ship as a member of crew, that is sailors. Now, to change behavior in order to deal more successfully with a new situation, adapt. To change behavior, a very small green or yellow plant that spread over wet surface, rocks, trees, that is moss, and to gather closely together, usually because of cold or fear, huddle. Now after that, read the paragraph A to E and match them with the suitable title. Paragraph A and B. Now here, A. Migration to new places. जम्मा paragraph 5 वटा छन्. A, B, C, D, E 5 वटा. त त्यसमा कुन paragraphमा कुन चाहिँ बारेमा कुरा गरेका छन् यहाँ टाइटल दिएको छ, यहाँ paragraph. त एक paragraphमा migration to new places. Here migration to new places. Now paragraph B. In paragraph B, now adaptation to new weather. Adaptation to new weather. And in paragraph C, living in underground holes. In paragraph D, here going into deep sleep. And paragraph E here other ways to survive. यो सबै दिएको छ, हामीले चाहिँ यहाँ म्याचिङ गर्यौं. After that, write true or false against the following statements. Animals wear thick coats to protect themselves from cold. That is true or false? Certainly false. Animals wear thick coats to protect themselves from cold, not thick coats. Flying in flocks helps bird protect from cold. This is also false. Birds don't travel far to avoid cold. That is also F. And some animals collect extra food for winter. That is true. Cold-blooded animals die of cold. That is F. And cold water makes it difficult for some animals to breathe. F. It means only D is true and except D all are false. Here, answer the following questions. Why do birds migrate in groups? Birds migrate in groups because the trip can be dangerous. Now, what controlled the migration cycle of birds? Changes in amount of daylight and weather controls the migration cycle of birds. How do birds find the same place for migration each year? Birds find the same place for migration each year by using the sun, moon, star and earth's magnetic field for direction. Now, why do you think squirrels and mice huddle close together in winter? And its answer is, I think squirrels and mice huddle close together in winter because they try to stay warm in winter. Now, how do animals maintain energy during hibernation? Animals maintain energy during hibernation by eating extra food and storing it as body fat so that this fat can be used for energy while hibernating. Some also store food like nuts or acorns to eat later in the winter. Now, how do frogs, turtle and fish change their habitats to survive in winter? Yes, frogs, turtle and fish change their habitats to survive in winter by hiding under rocks, logs or fallen leaves and burying themselves in the mud. Similarly, here, what do people do to avoid cold weather? Talk about your friend. Now, there, to avoid cold weather, people should do the following things. Now here, you can not read it easily. Now, I will supply it in my next video. Here, grammar. Study the following sentences. Now read it. That is the CC and PC conditional sentences. If you heat a snow, it melts. If you heat a snow, it melts. It means it is cause and effect. Now here is the structure. CC and PC and sense. The simple present in type 1. Then in PC also simple present or imperative. But sense should be cause and effect. That is the cause and effect. If you heat snow, it melts. If it rains, you will get wet. If you want to study more and more, then you can watch my video under grammar section, CC and PC or conditional sentences. Now, if you call me, what is the answer of it? I will come. If you don't leave, I will call the police. Somebody will notice if you make a mistake. If I see her, I will tell her to call you. She will be very angry if you don't apologize. They will be happy if we invite them to the party. Will they pay any more if I work harder? If you don't lock your bicycle, someone will steal it. No, I will steal you some money if you promise not to waste it. Unless you use your English, it will not improve. You must study hard if you want to join college. Similarly, read the following paragraph and answer the questions. No, this is the paragraph. Read the paragraph yourself. And here the question is, which is the topic, sentence or main idea of the paragraph Where is it stated? And its answer, the topic sentence or main idea of the paragraph is the poor public transportation system in our city. It is stated in the first line. What details does the writer use to support the main idea? No, its answer. To support the main idea, the writer uses breaking schedule of buses and people miss their important work or become late. In this way, underline the conclusion of the paragraph. Does it support the main idea? I have underlined the words in passage paragraph. Now, thou, this is the repeated one. Similarly, what may be the topic of the paragraph? Yes, the topic of this paragraph may be unreliable transportation system. Now write similar paragraph on the following topic in about 100 words: deforestation and engage endangered animals. Here this is the paragraph about deforestation, and similarly you can also write first yourself the paragraph about endangered animals, and that is the endangered animals. And the remaining part of this unit I will present in my another video. Thank you for today.